You can go. You can talk.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Gamer Breakfast. My name is Jalbagel, and I am joined by my lovely and beautiful co-host, SkojSkull.
Hello.
And our absolutely amazing and super special guest today, AngBata11. Say everyone.
Hello there.
What is
So if you guys don't know, what?
I was gonna say, what's the correct way to pronounce your name? Because I always say Bada, which I'm assuming is that's fine.
Oh, it's completely fine. You did it correctly. Yeah.
It's AngBata?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, that's correct. That's great. Most people actually call me just Ang, and they associate it with Avatar. But the thing is, I've never watched Avatar, and I don't like the art of Avatar.
Oh.
So yeah, they always think I'm an Avatar fan, and I'm like, no, I'm not. No.
Not even a little bit.
Damn.
Well, they're
not
obviously
even a
not
little
either,
bit. No.
because that's two A's. It's not even the right. It's not even the right Ang. It's it's on.
Exactly.
Are you not an anime fan either?
I am a big anime fan, but I just don't.
I can keep everything up there.
I don't like Avatar, man.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But besides not liking Avatar, you are an avid Monster Hunter, you player, content creator, enjoyer of other video games. But for the people that may not know who you are, might give us a little rundown of who AngBata is.
I make cheesy builds to make hunters' lives easier.
There you go.
Make builds that would make a person with boomer reflexes feel a god in the game.
Okay.
And flaunt with their colleagues and say, I have a sub 5 by just pressing one button. Something like that.
I held right trigger for 4 minutes and 23 seconds.
That's about right.
Some people they would get offended with the joke like that, but me, I would be like, you just killed that monster by just pressing one button. Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna get insulted. I'll be like, I'm proud. What did you press? Oh, you press a lot of things. Now you're having problems with the keybinds in MHRI's PC. Whoa, me? Just one keybind. It's fine. That's all it works. Yeah.
Just one button. That's all it takes.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's awesome.
Oh yeah, what got you into Monster Hunter? Like, what was your introduction? Was World your introduction, or?
Yes, World was actually my introduction. I've never.
Okay.
I think
I should know that.
I played Monster Hunter the very first time I played it was on PSP. It's on PlayStation. I think that was the first. Was it the first in PSP?
Freedom Unite would have been PSP.
I think so.
PS2 was Monster Hunter 1.
Yeah.
Oh, but still, that PSP version is still old, right?
Oh yeah, very.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like 2010, 2012,
something like that.
Yeah. Because when I was a kid,
we all have computers in front of us.
I was a rich kid before. Like when you have a PSP, you can buy any game out there. I mean,
anything you want.
In the Philippines is technically a rich kid because you can buy any game because all of them are fake. All of them are fake. And you just grab it. So what happened there is I grabbed Monster Hunter and I tried it. I died to a pig. I don't know. Maybe that was a Bullfango. And then I dropped it. I was like, what is this crap? Then I just deleted it in the PSP and that's it. Then I came back MH World and I liked it. I liked it because of guns.
Guns.
Yeah, because of guns. Because of the heavy bowgun, actually. Then I saw a TDS video too. That Nergigante run they did before in World in beta. I don't know if you remember that, Bagel.
Oh no, beta. Yeah,
the beta, the one that it's in the platform. Nergigante would be there, and then 4 HBG people will be there, and they're gonna put those fire pods. There.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a bug, right? Was that a bug? It wasn't meant to be like that, but
I have to watch that. I don't know.
Because you're talking about where they took the torch pods and like put it all around it, just to to keep the. So yeah, they were abusing the stagger threshold because they were meeting the stagger threshold with all of the bow guns, and then the torch pod would just make sure that it passed the threshold, and then it just stagger again, just never moved.
That's so weird. So that's what they did for the video.
Things I've watched.
It was a 4-player speedrun with HPG for beta, and because those like sets were like super just non-existent. Like they weren't DPS. It was just like monster skills and like you know a monster armor set, the skills on it, and the weapon. And you had like limited supplies of the weapons. They had to get really creative with it. I actually did on the beta for PC. I was doing IL speedruns for that, and every single IL speedrun that we were doing was using torch pod strats. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, but then they fixed that, right? Yeah.
Well, it wasn't. It was just for the damage, not actually for the flinching. Because if you have 7 torch pods on the ground, they're all dealing like 6 or 7 damage. So it's actually not a negligible amount because it does it every 2 or 3 seconds like that. So it's actually a lot of damage over like 20 or 30 seconds.
Jesus.
Yeah, super cool. It was fun. It was fun. And that's the thing that got me introduced to Monster Hunter. Then after the beta, I think that was in December, right? December.
Yeah, December.
Then it got released in January 2018.
2017. Yeah,
2017. January 2017. Then it got released in 2018. Then it started there. But I started making content, like guide content, like build videos and stuff in Iceborne. In World, I was just doing runs. I mean, they're not optimized runs. I just gun down monsters and just put an anime girl there in the thumbnail. That's it. And see where it goes.
That'll get them every time.
Yeah.
It worked out for you.
Oh, yeah. It worked out for me, but it was a rough start. It was a rough start. People be asking like, why do you put an anime girl there? Why is that girl's front line? This is Monster Hunter World. But I'm like, it's a girl carrying a gun.
It's my front line.
It made you click. It works. It works.
It made you click.
Yeah.
Oh man. And
so like what actually like drew you to Monster Hunter World, right? Because it sounds like based on your first experience that your interest in Monster Hunter was nearly non-existent. Because like for me, I was introduced to it in 3U, so every single game that came out, I was like, I want to play it, I want to buy it. So like that was like no brainer. But you know, if your first experience was with like one of the original Monster Hunter games, you know, on the PS2 or the PSP, and you're just suddenly like, hey, let me just get into World now. You know, like what actually like drove you to that?
It's actually my friends. Okay. PlayStation is actually the first thing I bought for myself when I started working. Yeah, I'm a stingy person. I'm a really stingy person. And I waited for like 1.5 years to actually purchase something for myself, which is a PlayStation 4. And ever since I've been playing, it's new to me because ever since I was so used to playing consoles wherein you jailbreak them, you know, you get fake CDs and stuff. So it's so easy. You get to play all the games. But now when you go to PS4, a Blu-ray disc here in the Philippines costs a lot of money. It's like 1/4 of your PS4. So I'm like, 1/4 of my PS4. I'm gonna spend on one game. So anyway, I had to like scout these games properly, right? So I was into first-person games like Battlefield. I played them consistently online. Battlefield 1. So my friend was like saying, "Hey, let's play this Monster Hunter World thing. Is there a demo?" So we tried a demo. Then I was looking for a weapon that is actually almost the same in first-person shooter games because I don't want to lose my aim. So I just went with the HPG there. So we played the demo. We enjoyed. It was actually a good experience because, you know, in the FPS gameplay, it's kind of toxic. It's like there's pressure there. You know, there's always pressure.
Really?
It's kind of toxic.
No, I mean, the pressure is always there. You always have to win the objective when you're not winning, all that stuff. Because I was a member of a clan before in Battlefield 1. So they were kind of competitive and they always have those scrimmages as well. So when I was playing with my friends here, I was saying, oh, this is pretty chill. And we're always running around from the Rathalos there. I think that was one of the demo missions, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we were just having fun. But we were having fun at the start, but when it was the release of Monster Hunter World, I was one of those people that you were introduced by your friends to play this game, but suddenly those friends that actually introduced you to this game stopped playing the game. So you're the only one playing the game left. You know, you're the one left. So yeah, that's how I got introduced to the franchise. Okay. So I was having fun with friends. Then the friends left, so I had to find new friends. Then I joined the group in Facebook. Then I saw someone who has Discord. Then yada yada. It started from there. And people speed running. And I just joined. Then suddenly make YouTube videos.
Suddenly.
Yeah. So that's how it happened. And it's fine. It's fun. The community, I like the community.
Yeah.
Community's great.
Always
honestly.
so eager to help. Eager to help. Yeah. And always so eager to have heated conversations wherein you'll have Twitter wars and shit.
There's like three things. It's like heated conversations. It's heated conversations. They want to show off or they want to help. It's one of the three.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the three.
That's like such a nice thing about this community though, is because people are so passionate about it that they care and they want to share their opinion and their perspective. And sometimes it gets a little aggressive, but it really does show how like passionate everyone is about this thing. It's just all about perspective in that point, right? Because like I never see like when people are like, yeah, but like you could do it this way and like it's better and faster. It's like when they want to give that insight, I never see it as like a toxic thing personally.
Oh yeah. That's good. Some people are just like so aggressive. Yeah, you're right about that. Yeah. They're aggressive, man.
It comes from a place of passion, right? I always like that about this community is that people just they care, right? They care a lot.
It's very funny too, like especially with like YouTube comments or something else when someone has like a different opinion than you. It's always just like, yeah, no, I'm unsubbing or something, or like, no, we don't see eye to eye, and I'm like, what?
Just because of what you said in the video, right?
Exactly. It's just like, oh, I don't like this monster. Unsub. I'm sorry, but I thought you were different.
Oh, you like Logia Cruz? Later, kid.
I go later, kid, but suddenly in your next video, you're still gonna be there. I thought you left.
Yeah, right.
Why are you still here? Thank you. I thought your passion is so big.
Your passion is so big.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Did you see that a lot on like your your comfy like kind of meme build videos and stuff like that? Like that kind of mentality, like like, well, that's not like optimal DPS and all that.
Oh yeah. You would see a lot of those things, especially in sticky builds. In sticky builds, you can just go through the comment section. They're just gonna go, you know what? This is my advice for the beginners. Please don't go range. Go melee. You'll never learn the movements and everything. Don't go range. Stay with melee. That's my advice. And I'm like, okay. And the people are like, oh, sticky, brain dead. And they're always like, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's fine. It's fine. I've already grown a resistance to it. Actually, I was never affected by it.
Yeah,
never. I just embraced it. I just embraced it to my niche. Like, okay, you're gonna say it's brain dead, then I'm gonna market it as brain dead.
I'm gonna make more brain dead.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it.
Oh, you think this video's brain dead? You think this build's brain dead? Wait for the next one where we put in Valhazak's set bonus, so we just literally never lose health.
You see that friend of yours that you're introducing to meta? I'm gonna convert them to a brain dead sticky user. Now you can't convert them no more. He's mine now. Oh god.
Oh man.
Yeah. There's a lot, and I think maybe the viewers don't know this, but even if a comment doesn't have a like or doesn't have a reply, the content creator actually sees that. I mean,
we see them all.
For me, at least, I read it. I read every comment. It's just that you just decide if you would actually comment and get
interact with it.
Into a heated conversation.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
Definitely. Well, I mean,
I've yet to do that.
That's good. That's good. Never ever do that.
Well, because all my stuff is just like 4 hour or 9 hour long speed runs. Like it doesn't get much traction or much interaction. But I mean, I've only ever had like questions, never like comments like that, like toxicity. I'm waiting for it. I'm ready.
You're ready?
I don't think they're gonna be toxic with you because you made full game speedruns. Those are, I mean, in my eyes, like legit speedruns. That's a full game, and you do almost all the weapons, and that's damn impressive, man. It's damn impressive. and I tried to. Well, I didn't try a full game speedrun, but when I tried to replay the game, when I tried to replay the game, in the back of my head, I was always thinking, "How the hell does Bagel remember all this stuff? The pathing, where I would skip, where I would slide, where I would mine the ore. What the hell is this shit?" Like, there's so much stuff.
Everything's so specific, and I don't know, but yeah.
I've been trying to develop that same kind of mentality for Rise now that it's out on PC, because I want to speedrun that too, right? I want to do full games of that, and we had them on Switch, and we had a couple of people, like 4 or 5 people, really invested in it, and the run's down to 1 hour and 14 minutes to beat Magnum and Village, which is really cool, right? But it's a completely different speedrun from World. It's a lot more like the Generations U speedrun, which is just IL after IL.
Yeah.
But I've been like trying to develop that like same mentality of like, understanding the maps and like knowing where everything is and knowing where to go and stuff like that. It's a different monster. Relearning all that stuff is really hard, especially when you want to do the speed run. Because when I first started World, I had no idea I was going to do this.
No.
Oh, I see.
I played it for 2 years without even thinking about like speed running, and then I was like, you know what?
You just wanted to play it, like it's all passion.
Yeah, let's just do it again.
Yeah. I even saw your post. Did you see that, Skoj? I saw a post that Bagel made on Twitter, and he tagged. I actually know the guy Brill. What he discovered, like the Super Mario jump. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, the Mario jump thing.
So if you just increase the FPS, you just jump really far away.
Yeah, it was really funny because
everything. Any ledge?
No, and certain ledges. It has.
Oh,
wait,
was that the one with the wire bug
geometry? So
it's not a need a wire bug.
Yeah, it's not wire bug movement or anything like that. You know how in Rise, we're talking about Rise now. You know how in Rise, while you're sliding or when you run off of a ledge, you do like a small jump. You get like a little height from it and a little bit of distance, and it maintains your momentum.
Yeah.
So there are certain ledges. So there are certain ledges in the game where that momentum it works a little bit different, because it doesn't work with every ledge, and I've been testing it out. It doesn't work with every ledge, but there are some ledges in the game that when you run at a higher frame rate, for some reason that momentum is doubled or tripled, exponentially proportionate to 30 FPS.
Jesus. I wonder if that's going to be
30 FPS, which is even funnier. So intended mechanic is at 30 FPS, which is what the Switch ran at. So we didn't know this existed in Switch, because like the game's either running at 30 or less, and when you make it less frames, it gets shorter. So it's it's just a straight line curve, right? Like more FPS, the more distance, the more momentum you get. It's insane. So he ran the game uncapped and found a ledge in the training area, and it sent him from one side of the training area all the way back to the entrance, like in one like little slide, and just off of a ledge. It just sent him all the way there. And I was like, okay, we are now finding FPS linked RTA tricks for movement. Let's go.
Crazy. So you're like saving all of this.
Oh yeah. Because we want to, because like one of the parts of like the SRC community, the speedrun.com community, is understanding the glitches and the exploits in the game. One of them that was discovered today, like literally today, is a item duping in your it's not item duping more but per se, but you can carry multiple stacks of the same item in your inventory. So people are looking into that. Exactly, people are looking into that now. It's been happening on accident, but we have 2 recorded.
It's actually broken for bow guns,
right? Well, because now you can carry double traps and double ammos and double everything. The double traps is the big one though, because if we can figure out, right now we have 2 recorded instances where we don't really know what happened.
You would have 4 traps, like 4 pitfall.
You would have 4 pitfall traps and the materials to make 2 more.
Imagine how long you keep the monster still for. Like how
already it's really funny, because you only need 2 pitfall traps per quest with light bowgun routing. It's already broken, and it's hilarious because they just go in, they KO like naturally, shoot the monster with normal 2 a couple of times, then they KO with Thunderbug, shoot the monster with normal 2 a couple of times, then they pitfall, shoot the monster with normal 2 a couple of times, trank shot, captured, done. minute and 30 seconds.
It's gonna be so fast.
RTA.
It's gonna be so fast.
It's insane.
I'm thinking how they do that. What did they do before?
Right. So I mean, when we find out a little bit more, right? Because we've been talking about it in the SRC Discord. This happens every time a Monster Hunter game comes out, and it's a lot of fun. But we found it, like someone found it today and sent it to one of the SRC moderators, our moderator Lumini, and he's been looking into it.
Here's the thing that's I'm curious about, because the version of Rise right now, that's the fixed one, technically fixed one.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Because
and
that's
then
like everything.
You discover something like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is the thing about builds like this, because like we don't have the most recent version of the game. This isn't the most recent version that's on Switch. This is a build. This is what we call like the release build, which probably was decided months ago before everything else came out, right? I want to go back because I don't know if we actually got. That's usually how it works. And they said that we weren't going to have everything, and that we weren't going to be on the most recent patch of Switch. But it seems like we're on the most recent patch of Switch, so I don't know. But once things hit PC, it starts interacting really weirdly with, game data logic, Steam integration, stuff like that. We get really strange interactions. So maybe like the same game and the same coding, but there's just new interactions. You see the same thing in like 3DS emulation. There's some emulators for 3DS that do not actually work because they're based on hardware.
Stories one with the cutscenes or something.
Stories one cutscenes, and like Stories one just does not work really well on, like, let's say the Citra emulator. So there's coping mechanisms to get around it, which is tanking the FPS for your cutscenes. But or I think it's like, and then there's like also like in fights you pause your FPS, so the game actually just doesn't update. It's really weird. But there's like hardware problems with that, but we usually don't see that with with like PC games. I don't know, it's really strange because none of this happened on World's release to PC, right? Like we saw like nothing like this. We saw like FPS manipulations and stuff like that for bow guns. Like we saw like faster input speeds for bow guns and for weapons in general once we were able to uncap our FPS and have like 400 frames.
I think they really made a lot of fixes just to make Switch cope, I guess. Maybe.
Probably.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, because you kind of have to, right? You're running a Raspberry Pi connected to like a small LCD screen. Like,
true.
How strong really is it? The Switch does a lot of. I love you, baby. I do. The Switch does a lot of things really well. Playing video games that aren't made by Nintendo is not one of them. Like I don't know what they do to their video games. I don't know like what creature they sacrifice beasts of burden to. Like they have to. Every time Nintendo makes a video game, they have to kill at least like one goat to make sure this thing runs optimally on the Switch. I don't understand it. It's demon magic. It doesn't make any sense because no one else can do it. Right? No one else can make an optimized Switch game. It's insane. Like even one of my favorite games to play on the Switch, Hades, has frame drop problems. It's like how? It's a top down roguelike game. Yeah. And like
it's so weird.
It's only rendering like areas at a time, but then like you get so many effects going on at once, and so many projectiles and so many enemies and stuff like that. It just gets. And then it's these frame drops. Then like Nintendo can just shit out literally any game, like Mario Odyssey, which renders the entire map all at once, and it runs smooth as butter, 60 FPS in handheld.
What? Oh, how? That's weird.
What creature did you sacrifice? Into what entity to make sure this happened? What black magic are you using, Nintendo? Tell me your secrets.
I don't know.
They want to be on top of the game. The games. They want to be one of the top games in their platform. Probably.
They absolutely. I mean, if you make a console and you can't make games work on it, then it's going to fail. Obviously, Breath of the Wild runs amazingly on the Switch.
Yeah, if that works amazing, how come other games don't work amazing? Because that thing is open world, right? I've seen the graphics and the frames are kind of decent.
Yeah,
it runs 60 docked and 30 handheld. It's amazing. The game's insane.
60 docked?
It runs in 60 FPS docked.
Then if that one reaches 60, how come Rise can? It's like
it's their hardware, so they know how to optimize it, right? because like there's proprietary knowledge in here. You know, they aren't going to tell all of the developers every secret to you know, irk out like every single piece of performance in this. Breath of the Wild was the only game that I had an overheating issue on my original Switch, and that's the only game that ever did that. Every other game wouldn't do it. But Breath of the Wild was also like built really well, you know, like smartly, because like the Red Moon, the Blood Moon, is a data reset. It resets the data for the entire game. It gets rid of the stored memory. That was literally a game feature that they made so they could reset the game's memory so the game could run better. But games like Rise and even like Gen U, they just don't do that. They don't technically have to, but
and then there's something like
MHGU actually works well with the Switch, right?
It's
MHGU,
really
nice. It's a 3DS game.
Yeah.
And then there's 4U, which you can run.
Yeah, it's an upgrade. Yeah.
You can run 60 FPS in like 4U on the 3DS, which is crazy.
Yeah. This thing is the best handheld we've ever had. Best handheld. It's literally on my desk because I still use it to this day. I love the 3DS.
It's amazing.
I love it.
I cannot relate because the last handheld I've had was like a PSP, and that's it. And my next handheld is a Switch, and that's because of Rise. So I'm mostly a console, a PC and a console player, but never handheld.
You need one of these.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat.
Fan.
Once I got into like PC,
I'm a Pokemon fan, but that was way back when the Game Boy screen was green. When it was green, I think that was like Pokemon Yellow,
the first
Blue,
one,
something
Red.
like that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a Pokemon fan. I played the original.
Yeah. I even. You see those discs? You see those discs? I blew that when I was a kid. I was like, work, baby, work, baby, work. I know my neighbor dropped you in water, but you gotta work. Please. I have no allowance.
I can't get another one of you.
Yeah. My neighbor borrowed it, and you know, in the Philippines when we do laundry here, we don't have washing machines. We have like a big tub of water there, and then you do your laundry there. And sometimes, you know, the neighbor's kid is there playing with their mom, and then he's just gonna drop his Game Boy out of nowhere in the water. And I remember that. That was Pokemon Yellow. I was trying. I even placed it on rice just to dry it up, just to play it. It's still played.
Yeah. It's still played?
Yeah, it's still played.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Stuff on the screen. There was stuff on the screen, though. I was like,
that doesn't belong there.
Yeah, I'm never going to play this.
I gave my original PlayStation 1. Like my brother, I had an older brother that's 5 years older than me. I was born in 1994, so he was, you know, born a few years older than me. And he wanted a PlayStation when it came out. Okay. So my mom bought it for him, but like he wasn't the gaming type. And so I inherited it. That same PlayStation I stopped using, and I gave it to my friend who lives in California now, and he took a picture of it to me. He took a picture of it yesterday and sent it to me, and I was like, that thing still fucking works. It's literally 26 years old, and it works flawlessly.
Jesus,
he knows how to take care of the stuff, man. He knows.
That's good.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Instead of dropping it in water.
Stuff, yeah, he's not dropping it in water. But like the stuff
I broke a PlayStation 1 before because that thing
you have to have an adapter for that.
No, I didn't.
Drop it in the wash water.
I didn't because PlayStation 1 they cannot handle 220, right?
220?
220 volts.
220 volts?
Yeah. No, they don't.
I think in the States you guys have like your outlets there are less than 220.
Correct.
So it's automatic. So here in the Philippines, everything's like 220. So you got to have an adapter there. So I was like so excited there. I was a kid. I was young. I wanted to play some.
You didn't have an adapter?
Monster Ranch. I wanted to play Monster Rancher. You remember that game wherein you search your house for different CDs just to spawn your favorite monster? You know? Have you ever felt that?
I never played Monster Rancher, actually.
Imagine this. Imagine this, Coach. There's a feature in the game there that you're going to summon a monster. That it would be dependent on the CD that you would put there. Okay? So I was testing it. You know MIB, Men in Black, the movie?
Yeah.
So what I did is I placed that Men in Black VCD on the PlayStation 1. Then what I got is a bunny with a black suit. I was like, oh, this game is
Do you think they knew? That's actually sick.
Yeah, what? But then again, when I placed like other CDs there, I keep getting Suezo. annoying yellow Suezo or whatever. You know that the monster with like a big eye and just really smiling, and I'm like, oh, okay, I have to find another CD again. Anyway, long story short, what happened to the PlayStation 1? Yeah, what happened to the PlayStation 1 is I placed it on a 220 voltage outlet, and it burned, man. I mean, it didn't burn, but it was smoking. It was smoking. I was like, oh my god! And it was summer. It was summer. I was thinking of like playing the whole month, and I'm like, okay, shit. Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, because you just forget the adapter. I've had that several times. That's why I was so scared with the PlayStation 2. At least they made it work with 220 volts.
Because it had the converter in the line.
Jesus, that's even like scary. You have to even consider that now, because it's just like I didn't even have to consider that at all. Well, I mean, that's because I live in the States, but like that's crazy.
No, it's insane. I mean, because we had to do the same thing. We had to do the same thing when we go to like the Bahamas, or at least when we used to, right? Because I live in Florida, and so the Bahamas is only a 3-hour trip for us. But in the early 2000s, we would go over there. Their power grid was very different than ours, and everything was 220 volt. You know, and so we'd have to be very, we had to be very careful. Like my mom lost a couple of like curling irons or something like that, right? Like when I was younger. But nowadays it's almost identical to the States, so just no problems.
I remember having like use an adapter for like charging my phone when I was in Sweden, because like there was a lot of times when I was in Sweden that like I think without the adapter and just using my like family's chargers, my phone would freak out. It would turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off, like on its own. I didn't even touch it. And it's just like flashing. I'm like, that doesn't look right.
Didn't explode. Yeah. I remember the phone that exploded. What was that? What brand was that shit?
The Samsung Note.
Oh, was it a Samsung Note? It was like a slider.
Or is Note 7? Is that Note 7 or the Note 9? Because I have a Note. I love this thing. This thing's great. I love this pen. But yeah, no, the batteries in them were exploding. And so they banned them on air flights. But the really funny thing is that's the same battery that's used in everything. It was just it was a soldering problem in the phone, I guess. But it's the same battery that's used in every fucking cell phone. And they were banning them, just because it was like a soldering problem or whatever. Like it makes sense, right? There's like an actual manufacturing problem with the phone, so they stopped selling them and all that. I remember that though, because I was going to buy that phone. I was like, I guess I'm gonna wait.
the battery on my PSP, I found my PSP that I had when I was very little.
Oh,
I had like Naruto skin on it and everything. It's great, but like I thought the battery popped out of it, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just put the battery back in and try to close it. It wouldn't close. Battery expanded.
That
it was gonna old rechargeable. Yeah, the old rechargeable lithium ions, when they get like really old, they oxidize on the inside of them and they expand and they blow up.
They eventually blow up, so I was just like, I'm gonna throw that away.
Oh, you threw that in the regular trash?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
No?
You should do that, I think.
No?
Yeah,
okay. Never mind. Where do you even throw that?
It's a small lithium ion battery. It means nothing. No, but you would normally recycle it.
Oh, okay. Never mind. No, someone's just gonna hear a pop sound out of nowhere when they're taking care of the trash.
That's like that's why they tell you to recycle your laptops. Like you have to take it to a special place, because they strip it, they dispose of the battery appropriately, because it's like the laptop batteries are fucking huge.
Okay.
As the old ones were. But that doesn't really matter. I'm just, busting your balls. Gotcha. I'm being annoying.
Oh, so the usual then. No, but kind of going backwards on everything. Since you starting off and going into your channel, one of your biggest inspirations, I guess, was your dad.
Oh yeah. One of my biggest inspirations for it, and actually, no, wait. One of my biggest inspiration for it is actually my grandfather.
Oh, yeah?
Now I'm doing it for my dad, of course, because of what happened currently to him. But it was my grandfather, which is why the logo of the channel is an old man.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was your dad for some reason. Sorry. No,
that's not my dad. That's my 96-year-old grandpa. Actually, no, 97. He's almost a century old. He's almost a century old. Well, the main reason for... Yeah. Actually, not good genes, maybe good ears. We have a saying here in the Philippines: if you have long ears, you have long life. And I was comparing my ears to my grandfather's ears, and I'm like, my ears are not that long. Does that mean I'm not going to reach that age? But anyway, when I was a kid, I've always looked up to him as a cool old guy, you know, and I thought that I can make him a YouTube star. This was way back when I started video games. Okay, so I even made a video, like scripted a video out, videoed him with like a low budget camera. It's still on YouTube to this very day.
There you go.
And posted that video, and I thought it would get a lot of views, and it didn't. It didn't get a lot of views. So as I was like thinking of making a gaming channel, I still had that in mind. If I can't make him famous, I'll just put his face in the damn logo of the channel, something like that. So that's where it started. If ever you even look at the oldest videos I had in the channel, my intros is him on a green screen. Like I crop his face out, and there was even this intro where I made them copy the lion thing that you see on the movies.
Yeah.
You know that intro that the lion's like roaring?
Did you have him roar?
I made him roar awkwardly and make it stop at an awkward moment. And he's like, and every time I video him like that, he's like, what the hell is my grandson making me do? But like, then I'm gonna go like,
but he's a good sport about it.
It's okay. Yeah, he's really supportive. Like I speak Tagalog to him, and like I go like, okay lang yan lo. We're gonna get money. I'll make you famous. And that actually happened. I even had streams on Twitch wherein he's just singing his heart away. And when people donate, I'm gonna give the money right there on the screen to him. Oh, this is the money. This is the money. And you see the people in the Twitch chat saying, is the conversion correct? You're ripping him off. And I'm like, oh, it's correct. All right. It's correct. And you have no way of finding out. But no, I give him everything, of course, when on those streams.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. So there, it started from him. Okay. Yeah, I'm giving answers that are not related to each other, like Monster Hunter, Lolo, then Father. They're not related to each other. They're like different instances, man. So my head is like topsy-turvy. Like it's not all connected.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about like, long-standing YouTube channels and stuff like that, because like you've been doing this for a couple of years now, right? And even in just that time, that's how the content shifts. That's how your focus shifts, your inspiration shifts.
True. It wasn't my channel wasn't something that just popped out of nowhere. It was a grind. Like
a work in progress, for sure.
Grind. Like the grind is real. Like getting 1,000 subs took me 1.5 years for 1,000 subs. But you see channels right now getting like 10,000 subs
overnight.
Sometimes just
sometimes overnight. It's really crazy. Like once they find,
it's crazy.
Some people find their niche just incredibly fast, and you're just like, can I have that too? When's my niche coming?
It's actually, I don't know. I mean, it defeats this thing in my head, and I'm thinking that if you want to make it big in YouTube, there's like, I thought you have to go through a process. Some people, they just jump through that process. But yeah, the challenge for those channels, for me, I mean, the way I see it, is maintaining the momentum. Correct. Some of them,
it's boom or bust.
Yeah.
Because like you'll hit your stride on a couple of videos. Like one will be really popular, and you'll hit that popularity on like maybe the next 2 or 3, and you hit all your numbers, you got your monetization, like you're part of the partner program just off of a couple of videos, but then the channel just dies, after a year.
True, yeah. So yeah, it's really complicated.
It's a lot involved in it. Algorithms, fucking, and just some people. It's really weird.
I'm even seeing Skoj's YouTube videos. It's well done, man. Those video essays are nice.
Thank you.
I looked at it. Yeah,
I appreciate it.
The editing is nice, and also that good touch of that caricature of yours.
My character, my little avatar.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Thank you.
That's a good style.
It's very good.
I like it.
Oh yeah, like Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say, like, it's
Oh, no. Yeah, just say it.
Oh, it's a style that I've been trying to like figure out, and I think I finally found, I guess, my niche, which is just opinionated videos and talking about different games, and I've been going backwards in Monster Hunter, so I'm really excited to see what more I can make.
And that can work, I think, with Monster Hunter.
No.
Yeah, that can work with Monster Hunter.
You mean no?
Monster Hunter have a lot of opinions. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. And it's like the recent Rise video, like it was, you could tell some people that haven't watched the video because like the title is literally just
they
like
read the title.
They read the title.
Oh yeah.
It's
you have a
over.
lot of that.
And I'm
you
like,
have a lot of that.
Oh yeah, thank you.
The video is the title for them. The video is the title. The ending of the video is a thumbnail. That's it. They just click it, comment, then
like,
skip.
How dare you? And I'm like, I did not say any of what you just said. I gave it more praise than anything. It's a great game, Monster Hunter Rise, but no, like I think I'm really excited for that field, and I want to dabble into more anime build videos again that I've done in the past because they did well. I just need to do them more.
Yeah, I really enjoyed them too. Not like actually being like an avid anime watcher, but I really enjoyed like how you did those breakdowns, and they're bite sized too, and that's the kind of content that I'm always looking for. Right? It's fun.
Sort of 5 minutes each.
But like, it doesn't have a video to be successful. It does not mean it has to be long.
No, there could be a short that's 10 seconds long, and then you can get popular with that.
Yeah.
That's actually how I penetrated. Penetrated. The word penetrated. What the fuck?
There's
that's actually the way I penetrate. There's a lot of words to say it, but there's
a lot of ways. But we're penetrating it.
That's actually how I penetrated the build scene, because everyone was like making builds, and it's so long. Yeah. It's like 10 minutes. It's one build. It's one build, and then I see them showing the decorations at a different screen, showing the equipment at a different screen, showing the weapon at a different screen. So I was like, I'll show everything in one screen. And then
novel idea.
Yeah. So I was like, slap it there. Then the video is like 3 minutes, and then I got comments like, nice. Some YouTubers do it in 10 minutes. You did 5 builds in 3 minutes. Nice.
Yeah.
I was like, well, yeah.
Monetization doesn't like me, but
yeah.
Monetization doesn't like me, so he pays me less.
Definitely.
The thing is, here's the thing. The cost of living in the Philippines is okay, when you earn that. So I don't need a 10-minute video to actually earn a living here. The people there, they need 10-minute videos. I'm like, me, 3-minute videos are still a goldmine for me. So I just used it. I guess.
Yeah, no, and that's smart, right? Like you develop your own strategy and you accomplish it, right? You can take advantage of a niche market, and like that's really good. Do you see the because I don't know what your goals are for the next couple of weeks, months, years with Rise, even, right? We've all been playing Rise PC. Do you see yourself doing a similar kind of strategy with the Rise scene?
With the Rise thing going, I think it would be hard because, first of all, we got PC. We actually don't have new content.
Correct.
Yeah.
At least, but the new content right now is 60 FPS.
That's
that's it. So I'm like, in my head, I gotta make a cheesy way to put new videos and actually make those videos seem like new videos, but technically they're not.
You just remake every video that you've already made. Exact same script, exact same, but in 60 FPS, exactly. Just brand new footage. It's the same exact video. The same video I uploaded 1 year ago.
You could even advertise it like
caps.
that.
and then in all caps, but in 60 FPS.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. And then there's the niche.
I actually did that. I posted a video. Narwa, smooth buttery frames, and I'm like, I feel bad for doing this. But I can't think of anything else. I'm so sorry. We gotta post that thing.
But I mean, you're also like going backwards in World as well, and kind of posting videos around that with the LBG video you did recently. Or was it HBG? Yeah.
Yeah. That was an LBG and HBG video. That was just to sum things up and also to connect it to Twitch, because people keep on asking for build videos. Then when I was trying to get them to look at that video that they needed, I was having trouble trying to find it. So I was like, damn, even I, the creator, can't find a video. We gotta sum this all up. We gotta put it in one video, and then just give it to them, just like that. That's why all of those things are like easily cappable. You just screenshot it. There's a timestamp there. It's like a video wherein you just skip it depending on the timestamps or where you want to be.
Yeah.
But
anyway, there's a difference between like a video from start to finish to tell a story versus a video from start to finish to give information, right?
Yeah. And that is actually what I envy about well, I haven't seen like an opinionated video coming from Jalbagel yet, but I have seen something from Skoj. I envy people that have that skill to actually have content with a narration inside. You know, with a narration, with a clear point, with a clear subject, and you know, you have those hooks and you have those discussions. Then there's going to be a conclusion. I suck at that stuff.
I suck at it.
That's why. It doesn't seem like.
You obviously don't, because you're making it.
I'm saying in the sense of just better. I'm learning as I go, kind of thing. Like my first video was like when I was talking about making a discussion video about the hunters speaking in the hunts. I made a whole script video about that. It was like 6 minutes long. I was just like, I expected this to be 10. So then I like continue practicing from there. I hate writing scripts, but like the more I got more involved in it, I started learning more and more as I went on.
See, Bagel, when he said that topic, I can't even think about what to script there. I was like, when the hunter speaks. In my head, I'm like, when the hunter speaks. What? No, I put them on Japanese dub, so I don't know what the hell they're saying.
Mine's in Monmouth language. It's all gibberish.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, how the hell would I make this 500 words?
Yeah, exactly.
This is not gonna be nice.
No, I compared it to like other video games that like don't have any speech or anything at all. Like there's another movie called, I think it's Gree or Gris. Gree is Gree.
Oh, yes. I think I saw someone.
A watercolor 2D platformer. Yes.
Yeah, that's an indie game, right? Yeah.
It won Game of the Year.
Oh, really?
I don't think it won a Game of the Year, but I'm pretty sure it was heavily awarded.
It was heavily awarded at least, and by far definitely one of my favorite indie games. But no, I compared it to that. It'd be like no speech versus speech kind of thing.
Yeah, but that kind of trend of content, trend of content creation is what I see is a great thing, because you're not content dependent on the game.
Correct.
Technically,
that's very
true. You're limited.
Doesn't get a patch. Yeah, if the game doesn't have a patch, you're fine. You can just get a interesting topic and just. Exactly. But if you're all about builds, you're like stuck.
Well, maybe like, not. I mean, you do some like very interesting videos where you kind of speed run through different hunts with the LBG and HBG. You can make maybe videos talking about your experience.
But that's all finite content, right? There's only so many combinations of builds that we can make, right? There's a finite number of monsters that we can hunt. There's a finite lifespan to actual physical performable content in a video game. Why do you think for the past 3 years I have been playing the game from start to finish for 4 hours every single day? There's finite content to that. So but like opinion pieces can be anything, right?
Yeah,
you take a big risk on like the topic of the opinion piece to be popular. But at least your own creativity and your own opinion that goes into this is that content. And imagination is an infinite source of inspiration.
True.
Right? You will, as long as you can think outside the box, find a niche, find a topic that interests you, something that you are passionate about, your own imagination and your own inspiration is the infinite source that you need to be successful.
So what you're telling me is I can make a whole script about Wyverian eggs and bring that whole trend back?
Why not?
Absolutely should.
I know.
Okay. You absolutely should. I mean, that ship has sailed, but honestly, if you SkojSkull are this passionate about Wyverian eggs, about Minoto and Hinoa laying eggs, and you want to delve into this.
That's disturbing, man.
Oh, I know, right?
An egg coming out of a girl's. Well, I can't say that, but yeah.
Where does it even come out of, Bata?
I don't know. Both holes, it will be disturbing. Both holes will be disturbing.
What if it's like a fucking great jaguar? It just comes out of her mouth. It's like
no. No,
actually, no, that's less disturbing. It's fine. I think I've watched an alien film like that when a woman was like doing something else. That's fine.
Skoj, you need to make this video now. There'll be riots in your YouTube comments and on your stream if you don't make this video now.
This for
it is a good skill, and with what Bagel said, it's a skill that carries over. Like for example, Bagel's like playing this game for like 3 years, right? If there's another game he wants to speedrun, the skills that he got from running Monster Hunter World is not 100% transferable to the other game.
No.
20%.
Of course, it's made. Yeah, right. So
that's usually what I say, because I speedrun other games too, and I always say that the skill and the understanding that you get from one game, about 20% of that will transfer over to another.
Yeah, it's just 20%. See, but if you have this thing, you not only do you have infinite like content, it's like you can branch out to anything, and you can bring almost 100% of your effectivity from that one to that one, which is totally nice.
Oh yeah, I mean,
when you make it work, you make it work.
Absolutely. There's something that from JoeCat as well. Like when he made like videos related to like Monster Hunter, he absolutely blew up from that.
Oh, he blew up, man. He blew up.
Really, he's almost at 1 million subs right now, which is wild.
Yeah.
But the point I was getting to was that
he is at 1 million subs. He just broke it yesterday.
Oh,
I missed that. Congrats to him. What the fuck?
It was on Tweetor.
Nice. But anyways,
literally obsessed with JoeCat, by the way.
Yeah, no, he's great. Like from Monster Hunter, he was able to make expand on his content in other videos because he works heavily on like
the presentation, the deliveries there.
It's
the animation there is hard. Is it made by him? The animation? Or...
Yeah, he draws it. Yep.
Damn. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
but
that's another good skill set. Damn.
I would love a drawing skill set. If I could have that, I'm
but imagine being able to draw.
I saw when he first started streaming Final Fantasy 14 that he was around like 200 to 300 viewers at the time when he was really getting into it. And then it showed with his hard work and really getting involved in the different characters and different classes in the game. He made videos on that, kind of like with the not in a nutshell, the videos for Insect Glaive, Longsword. What's it called? What do you call those?
How was it like
crap guides?
Yeah, crap guides.
Crap guides.
So he did that for Final Fantasy.
I definitely didn't open up his YouTube to figure that out.
Oh. But from those, he did that thing for Final Fantasy, and now he's averaging between like what was it, like fucking, he's over 1K per like stream or something. But
on Twitch, he pushes 1 to 2K a stream now.
Yeah, for Final Fantasy, which is like absolutely insane. It shows like with hard work and like quality content for what you make, you can literally turn in whatever game you really want to get into like a job for sure.
He is also a very just like creative and articulated person. Like even I would say one of the absolute hardest things to make good, well-received content for is Dungeons and Dragons. If you are talking about literally
on Dungeons and Dragons,
he's made quite a few.
That's where a big part of his content like lays too, like outside of like just gaming and all that stuff too. A lot of what he does is Dungeons and Dragons. Like he runs games with other like really large influential people, like other actors, other voice actors, other large content creators, and making inclusive and popular like D&D content is one of the hardest things to do, because you're talking about one of the longest standing like fan bases in history. Dungeons and Dragons has been around since the 60s. Okay. This is one of the oldest like nerd fandoms to ever exist. You think it's hard to like, appeal to the couple of hundred of thousands, maybe 1 million, diehard monster fans now? talk about literally trying to reach and to interact with a demographic of people that spans from literally age 6 to age 95.
That's gonna be hard, man. My brain is exploding right now. There's like so much more to cover.
D&D
so much
content,
lore. I'm like, oh.
Being successful in D&D content is one of the craziest things. I have seen people go from like the top of D&D content to the bottom in 24 hours. You know, it is absolutely insane to be successful with D&D content, and it blows my mind. I thought about it a handful of times too, like getting into that, and I'm like, you know what? The last campaign that I wrote probably wouldn't do well on the internet, so I think I'm good.
Just make campaigns based on video games.
Campaign?
Yeah,
I did. Yeah. I wrote a whole campaign.
You write the scripts of these things, what the stages, the levels, what you roll, all that stuff. Because I don't know anything about D&D. I just see them in Big Bang Theory. They get a couple of times, but that's it. But I've never seen an actual D&D video. But I just hear about it, that they role play, which is actually cool.
It's
I'm more of a Warhammer.
That's all
fan.
it is. Yeah. I mean, all D&D is acting in ad lib. I love D&D. You've never played D&D before, Bata?
I've never played D&D before, but maybe I've had soliloquies before because I'm an only child. And when I play war games, like you know those RTS games that you have a general, you have a hero, and like you have a big battle, you have a huge army in front of you. Then I perform a little soliloquy, in my room. I'm just there like a nerd. I'm gonna go like this. Tonight we will dine in hell. Is that right, Gerard? Yes, sir. Yes, we will. Yes, we will today. You do D&D. Yeah. That's how. And I'm like, so when I saw like
that's
a
all
clip
D&D
of
is. You did it all.
So I'm like, so that's how they do it. Damn, that's gotta be fun. But that thing is, maybe I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it here in the Philippines. I've never seen D&D here. I've only seen something that's related to D&D. Maybe people playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Magic cards. I know it's kind of weird comparing it to that. I think because D&D has tabletop.
It is a tabletop role-playing game. Yeah, you have tabletop elements and theater of the mind elements.
Yeah, I think the closest that I've seen, like a group of people playing something near that, is this tabletop game called Mage Knight. Knight? No, but they have just tabletop things, and if ever they're gonna fight, they have these. They even have rulers to estimate the range, and they have dice. And I'm like, that's like
Warhammer. Yeah.
So I was like, that is complicated, and I was like an 80-year-old kid back then. I cannot play that. I cannot play that. I'm just gonna go play an RTS game and conquer Japan. Bye bye.
Just play something like Civ 5 or something.
So you haven't played D&D yet, have you?
No, I have a little bit. It was more just like a one-off kind of thing, one-off for the night or whatever. But no, I would love to get involved in D&D, but it's just matter of time.
My list grows.
What?
Oh, so an average D&D game is how long? Like 3 hours, 4?
It could be as long as you want. Anywhere between 2 to 6 hours is usually what I always say. I shoot. Correct. That's some people do it that long. What we didn't play D&D today because there's a really bad storm out, and so driving was a problem. But Sunday. Dating their podcast. No, Sunday is our day that we play D&D. We play every week, and we've been playing every week for holy shit. What year is it? 2022. Started in 2016.
Jesus.
How many years is that? 6 years. We've been playing D&D practically every week for 6 years.
Wow.
And I mean, yeah, we love it. I love it.
Same campaign or different?
Different. We jump around between games and try different things, see what we like.
I was going to say, if you dedicate yourself with one campaign, it's like you have your own life.
Absolutely not. They fucking kill me.
You have like another life in the game.
I mostly run the games, right? And if a game lasted for fucking 6 years, they would have kicked me out by now. It'd have been over. They'd found somewhere else to play.
They'd be like, but it's damn bagel, why is my character still a private? I don't level up in this campaign. This campaign is shit.
It's been 6 years. We're level 6. You get a level every year.
Goddamn squire. I've been doing this for the last 6 years.
You're not ready yet, kid.
You're not ready yet.
No, but I really like D&D. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm making mental notes. Bata hasn't played. Skoj hasn't played. Adding them to the list. I want to run mini campaigns for some people that I know, because I would love to do that kind of stuff. But making, like I said, making D&D content is so scary.
Oh yeah,
you know, because being inclusive and appropriate is really difficult, especially on the internet. And D&D content always. Like even the big names like Matt Mercer and Matt Koval. Why are they always named Matt? Those guys even have problems with inclusivity and you know, PC culture, right? And it never comes from like a place of malice, but mostly just a place of ignorance. And that's one of my big problems. So like a while ago, I wrote a campaign that I wanted to stream. I was going to buy like 2 brand new DSLR cameras, a lighting setup, and I was going to turn my kitchen into a D&D streaming area. Overhead camera, 2 DSLRs, and I was going to buy a brand new computer just to run it. And I put all this stuff together, and I started writing a campaign for it. Yeah, I started writing a campaign for it, and I literally asked my friend Michael to be like my creative consultant, is how I worded it. Because I am a cis white middle class male, so I have never known oppression or lack of privilege in my entire life, right? So I need to check my privilege, and sometimes I will write something that is not necessarily appropriate or comes from a place of ignorance, and so I needed someone to help me with that. And then I realized how difficult it is to maintain that kind of neutrality and then put that into the world. It's very hard.
That is difficult. My mind is like exploding. Like, you gotta be, when you're writing a script, it's like a lot of landmines there. Then how would you make it? How the hell would you make it exciting then if there's a lot of landmines?
Exactly. So that's the hard thing. And it's not impossible. It's not impoable. You can do that. But the things that modern media,
there could be repercussions in something like
exactly,
like involving like race or anything in the game. People will connect that to something.
I don't get it. Why would it be that sensitive? I mean, D&D is medieval fantasy based, right?
People make connections.
There's a lot of
to
shit
nothing.
that happened in the medieval era. It's the Dark Ages. A lot of oppression happened there. Then why?
Right.
What? It's bound to happen. So it should be safe.
Same thing in like in any kind of media that anyone creates, right? Someone writes a book. Think about, I mean, like even like 1984. Did either of you read that? Who the hell wrote that? George Orwell.
Sorry, man, I'm not a bookworm.
I'm not a very big bookworm either.
This is just like one of the things that I always draw back to. George Orwell is a dystopian fiction writer, but he draws on parallels of the real world, and so he always has something to say when he writes a book. Whenever you create something. Whenever you create a story, a piece of artwork, you know, a limerick or a tale, it draws parallels to the real world. So people like seeing their story in a story. You know, it's the same reason why people resonate with like Lord of the Rings and with Harry Potter and with Star Wars, right? They draw similarities between themselves and their lives into those stories as well. You know, whether they have problems with family or problems with the people around them, they don't feel like they fit in, or they feel like they're taking on too much responsibility. You know, people always draw similarities in art to their life, and that's what makes art, right? Is how we interact and regurgitate it. The same way D&D is exactly that. It's a story, it's artwork. And when you tell that story, people like to place themselves in it and draw parallels to it. And so when you include a when you write in your story about a organization releasing some dangerous mysterious gas in the major city of your setting that ends up harming and killing hundreds of people, you then go into your mind and go, is he writing about COVID? It's kind of stressing me out because like I'm already kind of bothered by COVID. It's like, no, I wrote the story because I thought it was like a fun thing. Yeah, but like it really feels like COVID, and now it's like I'm getting like anxiety about this. I'm doing that to escape this stuff. It's really easy because the world is so old and history is so old, and we do so many things. It's really easy to draw those parallels, but it's a skill. One that I would love to learn.
It's hard to dodge those things, man. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, and you don't necessarily have to dodge them. It's about producing them and portraying them appropriately.
Oh yeah.
Because like
you can't make it too similar to the natural disasters that are happening or natural causes. I
mean, even if you do, how you react, respond, and regurgitate that information is incredibly important.
Oh yeah.
Right. Like having characters of color or of different gender or of different identification in your story is okay, but immediately demonizing those characters because your BBEG, your big bad evil guy, is a gay vampire. You're like, are you trying to say that like gay people are evil? No. There's a line, because like when all of the straight people in your story are the good guys, but then the one evil guy is a gay vampire. What are you saying?
That's completely Mr. obvious. Writer? Yeah, that's completely obvious. Yeah.
Right. And so like it's those kinds of things where like you as a writer, because like I didn't do gay vampire, but I did something similar to that in the first campaign that I wrote, and my players can attest to this because we had a really long conversation about it afterwards. And I'm happy that I have friends like this that can pull me aside and be like, hey, what you did made me uncomfortable, and you should know that. I'm like, holy shit, yeah, it's not my goal, obviously.
No,
but when you do things like that, it may not be evident to you in the immediate.
Oh,
I'm rambling about D&D. I love D&D. I'll talk about D&D for the next 4 hours. We can sit here forever and talk about D&D, man. I'll just run us a game right now. All right, go ahead. Come up with your characters. We're gonna run D&D right now.
Right now? All right.
Right now. The year is 1645. Wait, 16.
Whoa.
I
better have guns there.
Medieval England.
I won't have problems if I have guns.
You have slingshots.
You get a hand crossbow.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Oh, man.
I have a cannon, though. I want to have a hand cannon there, like the one in Berserk. That would be nice.
He wants to play steampunk.
Oh yeah. What are the games that you grew up on? Because I imagine it's definitely not Monster Hunter, since you mentioned that. You literally were like, what is this? And then installed it.
Counter-Strike.
Really?
Counter-Strike. It really revolved there. I don't think if you guys experience Counter-Strike like that, do you guys have network cafes there where you're living? Like, is it normal? Like, you're young, like maybe 11 years old, 12 years old, and you're just going to go outside of your house. There's a commercial district there. You try to picture this, and there's going to be a chain of computer shops there, network cafes.
I have not experienced that myself.
Just LAN. It's not internet. So you never experienced that.
I have not.
So myself. In the Philippines, so that's one of the pro things here in the third world country. Not everyone has money to actually have their own PC.
Right.
The personal computer is not a personal computer here in the Philippines. It's a public computer. You rent
public computer.
Yeah, it's a public computer. So the beauty of it, when Counter-Strike came here in the Philippines, you have these LAN cafes all together, like different owners. And then in one whole street, the players. You see the players. You see that guy? I killed him with an AWP. You see that guy? I knifed him. You see that guy? I threw a grenade at him. And usually in that street, could you imagine? Just you call yourselves by aliases. You don't call yourselves by real names. Yeah. It's really fun. And that's the game I grew up with. And it was my dad. It was my dad who actually took me to these network cafes every single weeknight.
That's so cool.
He goes home from work. Then he takes me, and then he's going to take my other cousin. So we're 3. So Counter-Strike usually has like max players of 32, right? Yeah. So you have 16 in the other team, 16 in the other team. So at least we're a team of 3 at least. So yeah, we usually do that every weeknight. We play hours on end, and my dad's the one who's gonna pay for the fee in the land cafes. And we got known in one district where I live in, like the father and son duo. That thing, a lot of good memories there, filled with passion with Counter-Strike, to the point that even my dad considered making it a business, having our own network cafe.
Ah.
And yeah, and the thing is, he revolutionized it. He has this big idea. Since in the Philippines we have shit internet. Like if you want to play online, you can't. You have dial up, man. You can't. You're gonna lag. You're gonna lag out. You're not gonna have a good experience. So we made a network cafe, and we have a lot of network cafes together with us. So instead of competing with them, we all got them under one banner. My dad made the server, connected all the computers there. Since it's a third world country, the network cafes only have like, I don't know, one cafe has 10 computers. Some cafes have 5 computers only. We don't have those big franchises yet that has 100 computers. No.
Right.
So it's all small network cafes, and then we connected under one server, and that server is in our network cafe. And what he did is he played with Linux servers as well. And he made a server of Counter-Strike and made a stat page. So it's going to be recorded everything. Everything you do is going to be recorded there. So
you guys had like a neighborhood league.
Yes, there's a neighborhood league every month. Then instead of fighting with the other network cafes, it was big brain, man. It was epic. I was young back then, and you can just imagine if you go to that street, people call you by your aliases. They just go, "Hey Bata, hey Bata, hey Bata, what's up, man?" And that is where AngBata was born. So my name was AngBata, which means the kid in English. And my dad is Ang Hukom, which means the judge. So every time we play Counter-Strike, it's Ang Hukom and AngBata. Then there. So we have a network shop. And in that district, all the network shop agreed that our price would be like this. Because before we were battling out with the prices. The lowest wins. 1 hour in a computer shop, some people go for 25 pesos. 25 pesos is 50 cents. Some people even go low as 10 pesos. 10 pesos is going to be 1/5 of a dollar. Something like that. Actually, 1/5 of a dollar. So there. So yeah, I grew up with Counter-Strike. So,
but that's really a really neat.
That's awesome.
That's a really unique experience. The only thing that I have that's remotely close to that, because I played a lot of like competitive card games growing up. So like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic. And all through middle school, high school, and college, we would go to the local card store to play every week. And that's like the closest thing, right? It's like, oh, like I get to go, like I'm gonna play against Jal. Like, does he have, this deck this week, or like is he playing this thing this week? Like that it's like the kind of that same community camaraderie, competitiveness. But I mean, nothing on scale like that. I mean, I could only imagine the kind of feeling of having this neighborhood wide experience, right? Because I think the largest experience that we ever had at a local level was like 30 people once. But it's usually like,
but it feels good. The camaraderie feels good, right?
It does. Yeah, it's really neat.
Yeah, it's very nice. Like I've heard people experiencing that. I wish I grew up in somewhere fashion where it's just like we had a local place where we just go to and play video games. I've heard a lot of stories about it with like WoW and everything, where people would go to a place and go to a PC and they would play WoW together or something. No, that sounds really fun. Like for me, I grew up on what did I say? Like some shooter, like FPS games, but it was mostly a lot of like Naruto, Shippuden, like Ultimate Ninja Storm type games.
Oh, that's when you take overnights to your friend's place and then you guys just beat the shit out of each other,
pretty
right?
much, yeah.
The whole night. You get a trash talk and shit.
Oh yeah, but that was like my experience with like growing up with video games like that. It's just going over to friends' places, play Naruto, or play Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, something like that. But that's really cool. Experiencing like that versus online where you trash talking each other in the mic, where I imagine this is more, are you still trash talking, or is it kind of just like shake on it? You were shit today, but it's fun playing.
But talking about versus games, I'm going to share a story I've had here in the Philippines. So we do have arcades here. This might be an LGBTQ thing, but don't worry, it's not. I'm going to put them down or anything. There are gay guys who are damn good in Tekken, man. They are damn good in Tekken. And you know what? There's this mall in the Philippines, and how it looks like the arcade is. There's one Tekken game there. Then if you're a good player, of course, you get to play almost unlimited games because you're just gonna beat everyone. And you know, there's like this hierarchy. Yeah, there's this hierarchy. So when you're going up against a non-gay person, you know, maybe you can win. But when a gay person sits there and he chooses Alice, and I'm like, okay, I'm dead. I'm just gonna accept defeat. I'm just gonna accept defeat. They're good. Because I remember that time in that mall, there's like a group of gay people there, and damn, they know their combos. And it's kind of annoying when they're juggling me. They're giggling. So I'm like, what is this? What is this sorcery? You're juggling me and you're trash talking me. What is this?
It's like the stereotype with like Asian people being really good at like FPS shooter games or
and I got the same experience as well in Dota. In Dota as well, in MOBAs, in computer shops. I was in high school back then. There's also another group of gay people that they're 5, and dude, they're gonna demolish you. They're like so in sync, and then their trash talk is like so high pitched that you're gonna get irritated, that you're getting killed in the game and irritated in the physical world. So I'm like, damn, this is hard. They're good.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just gonna share that. They're good. They're great in games, man. From my experience, at least.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
That's awesome. Growing up and everything, you've had this happen recently to where your dad went through something recently. I don't know too much of the information, but it was something serious, and you've been saving up a lot of money for that. In the past, I don't know if you still are, but I don't know if you wanted to cover that or talk about that.
Oh no, yeah, we could talk about it. I'm really open to it. Like you said earlier, I did make a video about it. So
yeah.
But anyway, so what happened was last year. Actually, we didn't see it coming. He got diagnosed by stage 4 lung cancer. So that's what happened, and I think the. Because he's not a chain smoker already. It's like something that blindsided us. You didn't see it coming. It just happened. Like he was just having persistent cough for like 3 months. Then, you know, since it's COVID, we were kind of scared to bring him to the hospital. Yeah. I mean, sometimes the doctors here just easily just label you COVID, you know, without the tests or anything, even though you don't have fever or any other symptoms, and they might just count you as COVID, and we were scared about that. So the checkups that we were supposed to take got kind of delayed. So when the coughing was kind of not bearable no more, he got checked, went into a biopsy, and then the results revealed stage 4 lung cancer. And at first we were of course we were shocked. I mean, it's stage 4, and you know, like a normal son would do, he would just search that on the internet, ask friends what you can do for stage 4 lung cancer, and god damn, all you see is like, you know, terminal shit. You know. Yeah. So at that state in my life, I was thinking like, what the hell is this, man? Like, have you ever been in a stage of your life that you're thinking why shit is happening? Like you're already down there, below there, then you even get pulled more down.
Oh yeah.
You know, because ever since I was engineered to get out of the country, to get out of the Philippines. My course is a medical course wherein it's needed in other countries. Like I even took a test there in Florida, in Tampa, to be a physiotherapist. I did pass it. So I finished my doctorate as well. But of course, I can't really push through with that plan, knowing that my dad has that. You know, because what's the point of earning money if ever you can't even enjoy the time, like with the person itself? right?
Yeah.
So why are you prolonging it for? Like how? Like so anyway, there was a certain time in my life that it was like that, but now it's kind of gotten lighter. We have more hope because the doctor did say that there are experimental drugs. He didn't go through chemo, so instead he's going through target specific therapy. So he's taken in a pill, and that pill would actually target the cancer cells in the lungs.
Interesting.
Instead of chemo, because chemo is just like a shotgun effect. Like, the left lung, let's shotgun that shit, and there's going to be collateral damage. But this thing kind of targets it. Wherein we got lucky because the results for your cancer, it still depends. Your cancer cells should be tested still, and you have to fulfill the requirements for that specific cancer drug. Right. And at least he got in. So he's taken that. I think the drug is called afatinib. So, and with regards to am I still raising funds for him? Yes, I'm still raising funds for him. I just don't know when that's going to stop because now, although the initial burst of donations really made it easier. So we purchased like a lot of the boxes of the drugs ahead because the pharmaceutical companies give you a discount if you buy a bulk, right?
Yeah.
But it's still ongoing because the pill costs like 40. One pill cost 4,000 pesos. 4,000 pesos is around $80.
Okay,
and
Jesus.
So that's $80 a day for 28 days.
Yeah.
So that's one box. And it's been ongoing since August. So August, September, October, November, December. So that's like
5 months.
6 months already because it's January now.
Yeah.
So 6 months. So 6 months of $80 a day. So that's been happening. And but the funds are handling. It's still there. It's still afloat. But at least the symptoms have died down now. He doesn't have any symptoms, but the tumor is still there. The tumor is still there. We actually base it on another test called tumor markers to see if you still have the cancer cells in your body. There's no improvement on the tumor markers, but the symptoms, there were improvements. And also the way the lungs look at the x-ray, it got kind of dry now as opposed to before. So everything is going well. And in my head right now, actually being the son and all, I'm not just focusing on healing him. Of course, I'm actually focusing on making every day count with him.
Right.
So it's like a cheese approach, We're not just we're not going to be just focusing on the healing. I'm going to be focusing on the the spending time with him as well. And that is why that's why I also proposed to the woman that I am dating and working on the wedding and maybe have a little AngBata going there, like running around there as fast as possible. I don't know. For the people listening to the podcast, do not rush your decisions in life. Please do not copy mine. Mine is kind of a YOLO move, and So I'm just.
I get where you're coming from.
That's huge for.
So that's the whole thing in that thing. If you have questions, it's fine. I can just explain what it is. If I fail to cover some shady areas there.
My entire brain. So one of the things that I studied, because I did an undergrad in biology, and one of the things that I studied was tumor growth, uncontrolled cell growth, and a process called transdifferentiation. So when it comes to like cancer talk, I'm always like really curious about like mechanisms and how things work and stuff like that. So I don't want to get too dry with asking about that, but I'm definitely going to be doing some personal research after this because I find that stuff really interesting, and it's really nice to hear that he's feeling better and becoming symptom free. And so I feel like it's
really related to stress, man. Cancer is related to stress, dude. So
he got stressed out.
Yeah, super. Because what happened was before he got diagnosed, Yeah, he got unlucky with his job. He got laid off the job.
Yeah.
You know, since it's COVID, you have some companies being, you know, pressured because the business is bad. Then he was one of the unlucky ones who got, you know, just cut off. Then maybe he got stressed about that. Stress built up. Then cough got worse. Then cancer cells became stage 4. So yeah, it was really fast. Yeah. So there, but yeah, I think it's good now. I'm being religious too. I go to church every day. No, I mean not every day.
Every day,
but
every
Sunday,
single day,
every Sunday, every week. I can't do every day, man. I can't do every day. I can't do every day. So
no, but that's good. I mean, you know, it's good to find those things that help you through each day, because like this is not. I mean, you're talking about it very very casually, very candidly. And very, very optimistically and positively, and you know, we appreciate that. But it is a really stressful and a difficult time, and you know, it's in at least this incredibly scary thing. It is nice to hear that you have some positivity for it. So,
and I think it's like really nice what you're doing as well, like saving up money. The community is coming with you and helping you out, and that I think it's like really. It's an awesome thing to see. Like I take a peek at it here and there, and I'm really happy for what you've been doing.
I actually got shocked, and I got really shocked. I was really touched that they were, you know, some people even went to Patreon, some people donated. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. I mean, with the funds that I raised, it's like, you know, Asian parents, but they kind of make fun of you if you're like always playing a video game. Like, oh son, you're playing a video game again. You're not gonna achieve anything there. And I'm like,
you should be studying.
Like, yeah. And I just find it ironic and funny that, you know, playing a video game actually helped the family.
Yeah,
it helped it a lot, and you know, strangers would be willing to give a helping hand. I even talked about this with Guy Jin. I told him I was really skeptic about it. Like if I post something about my father's condition, would people give money? My hopes are like low. It's a stranger. It's not related to them. All that shit. It's never gonna happen. But they did, and I just got touched. You know, it's like a slap in my face. Here you are, you negative, pessimistic person. Or something like that.
Here's some positivity.
Here's some positivity.
It really is. Yeah, it really is a testament to you know, the camaraderie in the community that you created, right? This idea that started with your grandfather and that has evolved, has created a community centered around you, centered around a video game, centered around your existence, that has done something so positive for your life and your family. You know, you gave that part to them, and now they're reciprocating that, and it's incredible.
Yeah, it is. It is incredible. I count myself really lucky. It's really it's really lucky. Yeah. So there.
Yeah.
And do you have any goals or any ambitions you're going to be trying to strive for, like from here on out?
Here on out, to strive for 100K by the end of
wedding.
the year.
There's that wedding. Oh yeah, of course. There's a wedding.
There's that wedding.
We're
talking about mini-bata.
But for content-wise, but yeah.
Yeah, for the goal, it's as life goal, it's the wedding. Sometimes I get lost still, because you know, starting a new life, like having a wife, the family. Sometimes I get lost because you think of the financial stuff, like how it would change. Of course, it would change, because now I'm living under my parents' roof, but I can offer financial help to them. But what would happen if you have a family already? How would it work? And I actually talked to my dad about it, and then he just said, "Son, just focus on the wedding first, because first of all, you're only gonna have that once in your life. The woman is gonna have that once in their life. Then just sit down on it after the wedding." And I'm like, okay, makes sense.
Instead of having like multiple things to stress over.
Yeah. Like Bagel said, it would seem like I'm always talking about it like really light, but I'm really I overthink a lot. Like it's I overthink like to the max. It's like super overthinking that I would get into like thought paralysis a lot of time. Have you ever had that? Like, for example, you're trying to come up with content. Like, I planned it out. I mapped it out. Then suddenly, here's a pen. Here's a paper. You stop.
Yeah.
For some reason,
all of us, yeah.
I'm the most productive when I'm driving home from work. I have a 30 to 45 minute drive to and from work. So an hour to an hour and a half every day I'm driving at a minimum. And every time I'm driving, I have the best ideas. I am motivated to make content. I am like speaking a script out loud. I'm developing a plan. I have all of these ideas. I'm like, oh, this would be a great redemption for stream. Like, oh, this would be a great like community goal idea or like a sub goal. The moment I get home and I'm like, oh, let me write that down. Where did it go?
Yeah.
Where did it all go?
It's all gone.
I mean, more for me, it's more like I remember the ideas. But when I sit down, I'm gonna be like, was that really a good idea? No. Was this one a good idea? It doesn't seem like it. How come it sounded good earlier? What now? It sounded like crap.
This is gonna get 1 million views. It's gonna do amazing.
Yeah, exactly. You go
through,
gonna get 1 million views. Then you go through your YouTube videos and see a comment and say, "No, that video is not gonna get 1 million views." Okay, fuck. So, you know, something like that.
It's like waking up from
it's a struggle for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like waking up from a fever dream and you're looking at it and it's like, this is the million view idea, and you start looking through it and it's like, no, Bavarian eggs. What are we talking about?
So I'm an overthinker. I'm a pessimist. So yeah, don't let it fool you. Don't let the smiles fool you. There's a lot of things going on in this brain.
Always.
Yeah.
We got a lot behind this.
Yeah, true. I tend to think that's true. Like the people with the brightest smiles are actually the people that went through a lot of shit, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Content creation is tough, man. Fucking content creation is tough.
It's really tough. Like I had a whole big thing planned, and then I had like a whole blockade. Like you said, I had a whole blockade of like, I didn't know what to make for like literally 4 months straight. I didn't post anything on YouTube because I had no idea.
And you would feel so unproductive, right? With those 4 months.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Scrap, man.
I feel like I was just like letting time go and everything, but then I finally got my act together and was like, just post. Just make something and post it. If it doesn't work, fine. The next thing. Keep going. But yeah, I don't know.
No, it's a weird kind of somber note to end on. Well, not necessarily to end on, but at least to wrap up that conversation. So segues are weird.
Yeah.
I know we don't have much time left to talk about this, but I do want to talk about it because we didn't really talk about it too much. How are you guys enjoying PC Rise?
Oh.
We talked a little bit about Rise, but it was mostly like offhandedly, but we really didn't say like, I'm enjoying it or it's still bad, So how are you guys enjoying PC Rise right now?
I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. That is contrary to popular belief. A lot of people are always saying it's the same game, whatever. It's the same bugs that are there. It's the same builds that are there. It's technically the same content, but for me, the FPS, the smoothness,
it feels so much
makes it
butter.
It makes it feel nice, And a lot of the people are like, while I'm playing it on stream, people are always saying, "Did you mod your charms in? Did you mod your items in?" And I'm like, no. So, and it is gonna be proven. Look at my game time. My game time, it's like almost 100 hours now.
What already?
Jesus,
almost.
That so early access hop in really gets you a lot of time.
No, and the thing is, I like it. I like grinding this stuff there, except Rampage. Rampage is still shit, man.
Oh, yeah, Rampage,
even if you make it 240, I'm not gonna love that shit. You keep that shit out. But the other fights, it's amazing. I like it. And this is gonna get me a lot of flack. I actually it's just fresh. Maybe it's just fresh right now. But I actually enjoy it more than World right now. More than World. I said it. Maybe because it's really smooth. Maybe
that's my favorite game, Bada.
Could be the case.
And your opinion is different than mine. Therefore, I have to be angry with you. I'm gonna unsub
specifically because you said that. Oh, yeah, it's just interesting. But no, I can agree with that. Like, for me, base world versus Rise right now. Like, I'm thinking about it. I'm just like, I think I enjoy Rise a lot more than base world because it's like. I don't know. It has a lot more content and definitely a lot more, more stuff to do, I guess, than it was in base world.
Yeah.
Unless you want to count like fighting Temper Kushala over and over again content, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
Why are you fighting Temper Kushala?
You get good decorations from that thing. It's super easy to fight. You just like shoot an arrow at it for 5 times and it's dead.
Yeah. So
yeah, base world's release. Because if you're gonna compare it to that, I guess I will too. I still enjoyed base world infinitely more than any other Monster Hunter game that I've ever played ever.
It's because you're playing it for over 3 years in a row now.
Well, yeah, but also just like mechanically, and not necessarily content wise, but just like how mechanics work, right? Because obviously, I have literally been playing the game from start to finish every day for 3 years. I don't care about content.
Every day.
I care about more or less, right? Damn. I mean, if I let's just put it this way: for 3 years, I've been streaming for 4 days a week, every week. I think it took off maybe like 1 or 2 weeks in there, but I've been doing that for 3 years, 4 days a week. I've logged over 4,000 hours cumulatively on PC and over 1,600 on PS4. So, but. Besides all of that, mechanically speaking, base world was a masterpiece to me. But Iceborne is just god awful.
What?
Tenderizing shouldn't exist.
Oh,
okay. Tenderizing just shouldn't exist. It makes hunting. Claggers shouldn't exist. Tenderizing shouldn't exist. The ice mod is the best thing to ever be created ever. Go and try that. This is me once again shelling out ice mod. Please go and play it. It's the funnest sharp percent I've ever done. And if you ever see me do one of those,
I gotta agree with that. Time. Even if you have like a shitty run, as long as you don't have claggers, it still becomes fast, which is weird. Yeah. Even though you get hit like 3 times, it still beats the run that you didn't get hit, but with claggers. It's like weird. It's like, what?
Very strange. Because you literally have to stop for 3 seconds to clagger the monster. It's awful. Yeah. It's literally a mechanic to slow you down. Anyways, Rise is a lot of fun though. And almost entirely every problem that I had with performance on the Switch is almost entirely gone. Inconsistency with frame rate aside, as far as like bugs are concerned, we're going to figure that out, I guess, as time goes on. But literally, I can see the game now. Yeah, that was my biggest problem with Rise. Is like I couldn't fucking see it. And I'm not talking like, I was playing on handheld and it was hard to see on handheld. Like no, like playing on my monitor because it was 30 FPS and dropping. Refresh rate is so slow on the Switch that I literally couldn't comprehend what I got hit by.
You weren't really immersed into it.
Yeah. And I couldn't understand what I was hit by, what just happened. But now it's like, oh, I know why I got hit there. And now it's like, I can say I didn't agree with that hitbox. But before it was like a gray blob vaguely moved past me and I'm dead. So I really don't know what occurred. And I've literally like taken Switch clips and like gone back and watched them. I'm like, the Kushala tornado went past me vaguely and I died. So I really don't know what happened.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out like what it is that like maybe really enjoy PC Rise more. Like aside from the frames and everything, I think it's also because like during playing on the Switch, when I was playing on the Switch, there's also that back of the head thought. It's just like, this is gonna be on PC. And not only that, but I feel like also we're trying to rush through content on PC Rise because we're trying to get there before everyone else does, so we don't get spoiled for our own experience. And now,
you mean on Switch?
Yeah, on Switch. And then now, it's more like everyone's taking their time with it, and everyone's like actually like really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess I think that's why it feels a lot better experience for me on PC because I don't have to worry about spoilers. I don't have to worry about anything. I just go in, experience the game.
Because you know everything already.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, and I can go back and watch my friends whenever I want to. But yeah, I think that's probably why.
No, I would say that's a nice thing too. The FOMO, right? The fear of missing out is all gone with the PC release, because we already did all of that imposter syndrome nonsense and FOMO nonsense when it came out on Switch. I literally remember for the first week that it was out on Switch, I didn't watch a single streamer play it because I couldn't. I was at work, right? And so then when I could stream, like all my friends were playing it, like everyone I knew was playing it, and so I wouldn't go and watch, right? Like, oh, they're starting it up. I don't want to. I can't watch this right now. Like I feel like I'm going to be missing out on something. I don't want to get spoilered, you know. And so I just, but now all that's gone. That anxiety is gone. It's a little bit easier to manage your expectation when you get a second release of a game, right?
Until Sunbreak comes out, but yeah.
Yeah, and then that'll be a whole other. You won't see Bagel in your streams for a while. Sorry, Bata. You won't see me around.
Oh well, you stream
you stream in the morning for me.
Oh my god, I can never. Like once in a blue moon, I catch you. I'm just like, hi. You're like, I'm actually leaving, and I'm like, oh, bye.
Okay, bye. You gotta wake up.
I have a question though.
Boy.
I have a question. This has been asked to me too. So you guys experience MH Rise PC. So Sunbreak is going to come for Switch and PC at the same day.
Oh, PC in a heartbeat. Sorry, what was the question?
No. It's going to come in the same day. So are you going to purchase it for Switch still?
Yeah.
For me personally.
Oh, really?
Really?
I have a problem.
Oh.
That is a problem.
Oh.
I don't know.
Because in my head, it's like, damn, I can't go back to Switch after experiencing this. Then I go back to Switch.
For me,
like...
Yeah. Like I've double dipped on PC and World before, and that was what those.
But the thing is, World is. But the thing is, PS4. It was PS4 first,
release.
Yeah.
Then PC, then a staggered release. So there's a point that, with the FOMO coming in, you're really gonna get it from the for the console. But now it's gonna come
bought a PS4 to play World on release.
Yeah, but now it's gonna come at the exact time, and it's like, what now?
Yeah, I think
so you guys are still gonna buy it on both? No. On both, or just PC? Just PC.
PC for me.
Probably I'll just go PC. Bagel has a problem. We don't count Bagel.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy both regardless. Or I'm gonna get both regardless, right?
Yeah.
Because I was actually, I'm still playing Rise on the Switch, right? Since I've been enjoying it on PC and I've been doing that, I'm actually still playing it on the Switch because there is this still like ambiguous. Why am I enjoying it more on PC? And I hate to tie it directly to performance, but that's starting to seem like what it is. But I cope with that by just playing Lance. Oh, I got a big shield. I don't care. I don't get hit by. I can't get hit by the thing that I can't see hitting me if I just hold the shield up all the time. Cope.
True.
But I also like playing, handheld stuff. That actually might change when the Steam Deck comes out, which is next month.
Really?
Yeah. And when that comes out, if Rise plays at 60 FPS on that, I will literally never touch it on Switch again. But
so the deciding factor
I have a problem. Yeah. I have a problem because I'm the same person that buys both Pokemon games or all three Pokemon games and still only plays one of them.
Oh, you're gonna play Arceus for sure, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Was it released? January.
Watch you play it first.
25th. 25th.
25th? 28th. It's that Friday.
Since that's made by Nintendo, that's going to be 60 FPS, right?
Absolutely. No, it will not be.
No.
It'll be 60. It'll be 60. It'll be 60 docked 30 handheld most likely. Pokemon games are not made by Nintendo. They're made by Game Freak. And so they don't quite come in right. The Sword and Shield, if I remember correctly, is 60 docked, 30 handheld. Most games are like that too.
That's good.
But I still really liked Sword and Shield. It ran at a consistent 30 FPS, except for the wild area. That's the only place it didn't. Before anyone goes, oh no, I've seen a frame dip in Sword and Shield. It was in the wild. It was in the wild area. Yeah, we get it. But no, I absolutely love Pokemon games, and whatever they make, I buy because I'm brainwashed.
There you go.
Good on you, bud. But I am looking forward to that.
No, it's gonna be great. Are there any games that you're looking forward to, Bada?
Other games, Elden Ring, of course. Yes. Elden Ring. Want to check out Elden Ring, even though I haven't played any Dark Souls games. Yeah. That's gonna be my first one. I was one of the lucky ones who got in the
beta
closed network.
Something, whatever it was.
But I was just able to play for an hour, and I got my ass handed to me by the guy with the guy in the horse, because I was so stubborn. I want to defeat that the moment I saw it, and I just kept on dying a lot of times.
But did you enjoy the dying? Did you have fun with the dying?
Yeah. I did. So I did it for like
Souls games
50 times. Yeah.
You really got to be okay with dying in Souls games. Like some people get so worked up about like not being able to clear a boss in, like the first couple of tries. I'm like, no, you got to get rid of that mentality.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Definitely. I'll watch you guys play it. I won't get Elden Ring.
Oh, why?
Probably not. I'm not a big fan of games of Souls-like games.
That's fine.
Because I don't know. I'm weird when it comes to games. If I'm always on edge in Souls-like games, and it might just be like a problem with me or like how I perceive them. But when I played Dark Souls 3, I didn't finish it. I played it for a couple of nights, and because of the atmosphere and the design of that game, where it's kind of like catch you off guard. I mean, no, more so like it's designed to like catch you off guard and punish you for not paying attention, or for like not remembering or something like that. It just put me on edge a lot of the time. So like rounding every corner, going into any catacomb, I was just always on edge, and I was just always like, oh,
just constant
what's the next
stress
thing?
The entire time. Yeah,
I couldn't palate that. And then I tried Sekiro. And I really enjoyed Sekiro. I really enjoyed the combat system of Sekiro. I enjoy the aesthetic of Sekiro, but the same thing happened again, where just I got incredibly anxious just every single time I had to progress into the unknown. And it's just like how they present that unknown. I just don't know. But I didn't. It's a problem with me. I didn't prepare myself. I didn't approach the game in the way that it needed to be. You know, because like it's definitely not one of those you're going to clear it in your first attempt, right? And I over and over again getting caught off guard by something new every single time, getting, jump scared by it, because I am literally a coward when it comes to like any sort of like scary or jump scares. It took me an hour to play the first 5 minutes of Resident Evil Village, so think about that for a second. And I don't know, I just can't do it. They just put me on edge. Like the same thing with like Skyrim. Skyrim puts me on edge because first person walking around into catacombs, and like you just turn the corner and there's an enemy, and it's like, oh well, there goes my heart. I skipped like not 1 but 7 beats. I just don't know. Fallout, can't do Fallout either. Bethesda games, FromSoft games, they just don't settle with
Infinite, me. I think you'll enjoy, but otherwise,
Infinite.
Is it BioShock Infinite, or did you say Fallout?
Fallout. I said Fallout.
Never mind.
So the last Fallout game I played was 4.
I completely misheard.
Last Fallout game I played was Fallout 4, and I really tried. I played it for 2.5 hours.
Skyrim I could get into. Fallout is one of those games where it's just like, I don't know. I couldn't. It wasn't vibey for me. The style and the aesthetic, I couldn't really.
Yeah. People love them.
Oh yeah.
I'm weird though. I like Pokemon games. Keep giving me those.
Yeah.
I'll play a Pokemon game right now.
All those games that you mentioned, I haven't played it. That's why I was keeping my mouth shut.
Oh man, you should have been like, "You're missing out, Jal." And then people would be like, "Oh yeah, okay, you played them." They would just never have asked you to do it. But now you've opened a can of worms. Now everyone's be like, Bada, you haven't played Fallout 4? You haven't played Skyrim? You haven't played Dark Souls 3?
You played
Elden Ring before you played Dark Souls 3?
You're playing through Nier right
now.
Yeah,
I get a lot of that on stream. Your first Dark Souls game is gonna be Elden Ring, and I'm gonna go like, what do you mean? Monster Hunter is a Dark Souls game. Then they're gonna get triggered. They're gonna get so triggered. They're gonna be like, no. I'm gonna unsub to you. You didn't just say that to my favorite game. And I'm like, what is your favorite game? MH? or Dark Souls? What? I'm confused now.
I should make a script just to piss people off about Dark Souls being a Monster Hunter game.
Oh, I can picture it now. Monster Hunter is harder than Dark Souls. Instant dislikes.
But you'll never know because YouTube doesn't show them anymore.
Never know this time.
Yeah.
You see 100 likes, people really like this video.
I'm waiting for somebody somewhere to make like a Chrome extension that adds the dislike count back, because you know it still exists. If you click on it, they keep that data. It has to.
Yeah, it's in the data when you see it in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you know it's there, so that it's got.
Definitely, but. Yeah, I think that covers about everything that we wanted to talk about.
Oh, we talked about anything and everything.
Yeah, I rambled on into something that didn't make sense sometimes, so that's okay.
I did the exact same thing with D&D, so we're all guilty except Bata. He was the only one that stayed on topic.
No, my topic was like all over the place.
He's talking about your channel history. I swear it's all related. We're talking about my grandfather. We're talking about Bowgun. We're talking about monsters. It's all related. I swear.
Oh man,
you look like Charlie Kelly from Sunny drawing the yarn from one pin to the other. It all makes sense. Pepe Sylvia.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, are you? Am I starting off or did you start off? Are you ending?
I started it off.
Okay, you can go for it.
Are you okay today?
I'm not.
You go for it. Just ended streaming, man.
Yeah. He's fresh out of
a stream. It was a 6-hour stream. I was looking at the counter, dude. That's them tiring, dude.
So you just did a 6-hour stream, so that was no problem, right? And then we just did a 2-hour podcast. That's also no problem, right? So that means you can very easily do an 8-hour D&D session. So we'll go ahead and get that on the books for next week.
Gonna go.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys so very much for watching this episode of the Gamer Breakfast. My name was Jalbagel. Is that the right way? Was SkojSkull. And this was our guest AngBata. If you guys want to check out more of Bata's content, like his stream and his YouTube, all of his links and all those fun things will be down in the comments below, or in the description below. We'll also get a link to the donation if you guys would like to support Bata and his family directly. That will also be down there. Bata, if you had anything else that you wanted to include or to say while we close out, feel free. The floor is yours.
No, it's fine. Everything. Thank you for having me here, and thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you for having me. Here.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, no. Congrats on. I wish you the best on your wedding and everything, and just take things step by step. You got this. I'm really proud of everything you've done. Fucking go for it, bud.
All right. Well, until next time, everybody. My name is I already did that part. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.